this is BreakmanX, and welcome to the game show on December 3rd, 2025. How's it going, Jack?
It's going great. I've been listening to a lot of the 8-Bit Big Band, and they are great.
That is a happy time of joy for the winter times. And how are you doing, Jess?
I am doing great. Just about done with the semester. I've got like a week's left of work, and then I am off for a month.
Woo!
Nice.
College breaks for the best.
Yes. Awesome. Well, I wish you a good break with that. The game show, since 2002, is a celebration of video games and our collective interest mixed with a healthy dose of humor while bringing in our favorite people in the game movie industries on as guests. But not tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some cold winter games, which I have a lot of really good winter memories of games because winter is a time, where it's so cold that you want to play some games. So I kind of like that we're moving into this topic.
Yeah.
But, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, winter used to be when like all the games dropped because all you could do was stay inside and play video games. And now it's just spread out even over the summer. It's kind of weird how it's kind of flipped a little bit.
Yes, it has. It has definitely flipped. But let's go ahead and talk about our opening discussion here. So couple things. I watched My Life in Gaming and Digital Foundry talking about the analog 3D, which I'm not going to get, but there was a deal that they talked about in Green Man Gaming. They have remaster pack, or they have packs there with big discounts. So I got this remaster for this remaster pack for $4. So it's the remasters of Soul Reaver 1 and 2, all 6 of the first Tomb Raider games, so Tomb Raider 1 through 6, Shadow Man, and Turok 3, and it was $4. Honestly, I got it really for Soul Reaver 1 and 2 because I wanted to try those remakes.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Those are the ones I've been kind of waiting to go on sale. And then we talked about those Tomb Raider games here, right, a few weeks ago. Yeah. And so I was like, yeah, I'll give those another try. Maybe I won't be as terrible this time. Jury's out. We'll see. And then other quick hitter things for me. So Neon Inferno, it's out. There's also a demo out. It looks really, really cool. It's kind of like Contra mixed with Sunset Riders.
Nice.
In a way, which is some good things to mix. It looks beautiful. I love the sprite artwork. The music's also really good. And it's out on everything. So
I need to check that out. It looks really good.
Yeah, you definitely should at least check out the demo. I think it's one of the better. I like the retro games that come out lately. I think it's one of the better ones. But it's also like so recent. I need to let it sit a little bit. But from my current perspective, I think it's one of the better ones. I also played the Cosmic Invasion demo, the new Marvel beat 'em up, which is from Tribute Games, the same folks as Shredder's Revenge et al. And it's also a lot of fun. I haven't played enough yet to get like a super in-depth opinion on it, but it definitely, I don't know. I think if you like beat 'em ups and you like Marvel, it's kind of a no-brainer. I've always wanted that X-Men game, or I even like the Avengers arcade game.
Yeah, that's honestly like between those two arcade games, those are some of my favorite beat 'em ups. They may not be the most in-depth in the world, but I'm a sucker for Marvel franchise stuff. So
me too.
You give me some comic book superheroes that I'm in. Cosmic Invasion 2, I haven't played it yet, but it is, if you still subscribe to Game Pass, it is one of the games for this month. So it's already up. So check it out if you've got Game Pass still. And I think it's only $30. So not a full price game.
And it's also on sale. I think it's like $5 off or so for like a week. It may have ended by now, but it looks good. It's going to be fun. And everyone had been talking about this Summer Cart 64 flash cart thingy. That's really cheap. It's open source, and it's supposed to be pretty rad. I picked one up because I found it for really, really cheap, and I've been playing with it a little bit. But one of the things I have been playing on it is that new unreleased N64 game that people found, Viewpoint 2064. It's a sequel to Viewpoint from the Neo Geo and all that, the shooter game. Which, that one wasn't so great. but this was basically a game that was done or very near done. It was a master. And apparently in those days, maybe still, but they would submit a master to Nintendo knowing that there'd be notes to come back, and then they'd fix and change some things. So that way when Nintendo sent their notes back, they would have, so it's like not final, but it's close.
Yeah.
But anyway, I played it. It's fun. Could use some polish a little bit, but it's fun. It's good. It's good to play.
It's awesome.
Yes. And then just briefly, I thought I'd continue to mention my Linux journey. It's been a lot of fun. I've been using it basically for everything, except for the show, because NVIDIA Broadcast isn't on there yet. Once NVIDIA Broadcast is on there, and NVIDIA has been starting to support Linux a little bit. So once, if NVIDIA Broadcast goes over to Linux, I will literally have no reason to go into Windows. All the games that I've run all run better over there, and with Steam supporting it, and I do have to say, like, I used to be a really big, like, Windows fan. Like, seriously, like, in the 90s and the early 2000s, like, I loved Windows. Like, the things it allowed you to do, you could build computers, you could customize it, you could do all sorts of things. So I'm, like, not, like, a lifelong Microsoft hater. I mean, established, like, 2002. No, I'm kidding. But so, it's just been fun. It just runs so much faster. Like, when I boot back into Windows to do stuff, it feels like it's like in sludge.
Oh.
So, so as games and stuff keep moving over, I think it's pretty good. The really thing, you have Adobe and then some of like that kind of stuff. But I can do that on the Mac. So. But anyway, Jess.
Yes, I used Black Friday as an opportunity to pick up a couple games that have been on my radar for a while, but I just hadn't gotten around to it. I got Pentiment, which I am probably the most excited about.
It's great. Like, from a story perspective, it's fantastic. Like those guys over at why can't I think of the name of their
Obsidian, isn't it?
Obsidian, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Obsidian are fantastic storytellers.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to it. It's been like top of the list since I'd first heard about it, but I've got such a backlog of games that I need to play.
I don't know what that's
but
like.
Black Friday, it's like it's cheap, and I know I want to play it, so I went ahead and got it. I also got Chance of Sinnar.
Yeah.
Which I'm also excited but like slightly nervous about. I'm trying to become a puzzle game kind of person. Historically, I get frustrated very quickly, but I'm trying to like retrain myself, so I'm hoping it goes well. And then I don't know if this is the right way to pronounce this, but Gorogoa?
Yeah, Gorogoa
is another puzzle game that popped up that was like only a couple dollars, and I was like, that looks gorgeous. So I got that one. I got Dredge just because I'd been playing it on Game Pass, and then I got rid of Game Pass, so I'm like, let's go ahead and get that on Steam. And then I went back and got The Wolf Among Us, the Telltale
that's
game.
a good series.
I played it, to back in the early 2010s, whenever it was that it came out, early to mid, but I haven't played it since. And so I was kind of, I don't know, I was in a mood, I saw it, and I impulsively hit add to cart. So I got that one. And then I actually played a couple demos.
Oh, nice.
I started with
No, I just said okay.
Oh yeah, I just said nice. Sorry.
Gotcha. I started with Shift at Midnight, which is a horror. You are working as like a checkout person, and there are these invaders that are pretending to be human beings, and so you've got to like scan people's IDs and check with the database and figure out if you think it's actually the person or if you think it's one of these like alien invader things. And then if you get it wrong, after close, they come back and try to kill you. So I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think it'll be a really good game, especially for like co-op, because you can do multiplayer. It might just be because I'm bad at games, but I could not survive once I made a mistake and like they came to kill me after close. I was like kind of screwed, because like you have to hide and you have to board up the doors, and then you have to like shoot the creature and kill it, and you've only got like 60 seconds after you close to like get all of it ready. And I could not figure it out. But I really enjoyed it. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Looking forward to the full release of it. And then the other one is Quarantine Zone: The Last Check.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of 50-50 on. I enjoyed the like actual investigation part of it and trying to decide if you think, because you're running a quarantine zone in a zombie apocalypse and you're trying to decide who you let in and who you don't. And I enjoyed the like investigative, trying to like make the decision of if you think people are safe or not aspect. But there's also a like running the quarantine zone and like resource management and like gas, food type thing that maybe will be more enjoyable in the full game when it's more fleshed out. But for the demo, kind of just felt like it was taking me away from the part of the game that was actually interesting. So I'm kind of torn on it, but I think there's definite potential in it.
Awesome. That sounds pretty cool. I've seen a few things for that and just haven't had a chance to check it out yet.
Liked it overall. I would suggest it. At least in the demo, especially since it's free, just to kind of check it out, get a feel for it, see if it's something you're into.
Yeah.
I love demos.
Yes.
I've always loved demos. So,
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Jack.
Yeah, so I picked up a few things over the holiday break too. First, I'll just say I played way too much of The Simpsons Fortnite. They had a fun little event that was going on, and when I saw that Homer Simpson was the last Battle Pass reward, I of course broke down and have no willpower, so I got the entire Battle Pass and got every level. So
you have enough willpower. How's that?
Yeah, but at the same time, my son wanted to play, so I was just like, okay. And then 30 minutes later, I was just like, well, I might as well go ahead and get everything. So I also, one of the things that actually that enabled me to do, it was the first time I actually got to try the Fortnite festival mode, the rock band thing that Harmonix did since they got acquired by Epic. It's Rock Band. It's just in Fortnite now. You can't really play drums, but you can play guitar and bass just fine, and it works out really well. So now I've got another reason to keep my my Rock Band set around. So I played. Since I got The Simpsons and I spent money on one of the skin packs for The Simpsons, I now am a proud owner of Fortnite Festival's version of the Monorail song, which made me extremely happy. So yeah, it's pretty great. But anyway, in actual games, not just Fortnite, I did pick up Metal Gear Delta Snake Eater and been playing through that a little bit.
How is that?
Okay, so it gives you two modes. There's like classic mode, which is almost like it plays exactly the same as original Metal Gear 3. So same camera angle, same stuff, same having to go into the menus to change your camouflage every 2 seconds, and then dig out bullets when you get shot and all that kind of fun stuff. But then there's like a new mode, which is kind of like a little more modern. It's kind of like an over-the-shoulder third-person view, which is good in some respects, but also not, because you then can only see what Snake sees, essentially. And so you miss a lot of the stuff going on in the environment. So like the overhead view in the original, you can kind of see where all the guys are patrolling. You can kind of get a sense for that. But with the third-person view, you just see what's right in front of you. And so sometimes if you're sneaking around and you're behind a tree, or if you're underneath a car or something like that, you just can't see too far in front of you. And like there's been multiple times where guys have just snuck up on me and be like, oh, what? Ah, crap. And so it has been very, very difficult. I shouldn't say that. It's been more difficult than the original was, just because of the lack of awareness you have in the third person mode. But the gameplay itself, they've done some things in the new mode where like you don't have to go into the menus to change your camouflage. It's just a button press and it kind of takes care of it for you. You still have to go into the menus to heal yourself though, which kind of sucks. But the game looks amazing. The graphical tweaks they've done are fantastic. They have not done a damn thing with the cinematics, so still looks good and just silly as ever. Hearing David Hayter as Snake again is really, I missed it after listening to Kiefer for a full game. But yeah,
which do you prefer?
David Hayter.
Oh yeah,
without a
me
doubt.
too.
Yeah.
Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Although Voltar,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. But no, it's I think I'm about halfway through the game. I just got to the fear and been doing that fight, so that's kind of fun to do again. It's if you like Metal Gear 3, it's a really good version of Metal Gear 3, and it runs on new stuff. So yeah, if you're a fan, check it out. I would not pay $70 for it though. Wait for it to go on sale.
It's 70,
which is what I do. Yeah, it's $70. I picked it up for 48 on a Steam sale.
Okay.
Let's see. I also picked up Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Played through the little intro mission for that and got to the point where I could start actually doing multiplayer stuff. So excited to play some more of that. Also picked up Jackbox Party Pack 11 and had a fun time playing that with family around the holidays. So I know I know our crew is big fans of the Jackbox series. I will say 11 is the first one where I feel like every single game is a banger. Like every single one is awesome. I like usually when we play, there's like 3 games or 2 games everybody kind of sticks around because those are the really fun ones. And then like the other 3, like you play them once and you're just like, okay, let's go back to the other guys. But this one's like all 5 of the games are amazing. They're fantastic. So definitely check it out if you get a chance, if you're a big fan of those. And yeah, that's kind of what I picked up over the holiday. Like not a whole bunch. I kind of have I got my wrist slapped a few years ago for buying games so close to Christmas. So I kind of get in lockdown mode. Like if I pick anything up, it's really stuff that's not even anywhere on my radar. Or like, I don't think I'm going to want to buy because I know there's a list somewhere else that somebody's looking at and may buy things off of it for me for Christmas.
Well, there you go. I hope you get awesome games for Christmas. There's nothing like getting games for Christmas.
Yeah.
So I hope you get lots of those. Speaking of games that come out, Metroid Prime comes out tomorrow. After it was announced 35 years ago. I mean, basically 2017, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was when it was first announced. And Giant Bomb gave it 100, like a perfect score. And Digital Foundry also were pretty high on it. So I know that there's some of the other outlets were giving it more like 80s, but I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm going to be Metroiding once I get my massive pile of work done. So
yeah.
What about you? Are you going to be picking it up?
I'm picking it up for sure. The Giant Bomb review, I trust Dan with a lot of the stuff that he writes. Yeah. He's been reviewing games for years. He's a little bit of a Nintendo homer, but like I don't think that clouds his judgment a whole bunch. I was a little worried with some of the stuff they were talking about with the sidekick, but it sounds like it's not a huge deal. And I'm kind of interested to hear that it plays a lot more like a Zelda game. So really, really interested to see how that kind of fits in.
I'm super stoked. Did you want to talk about the 32X?
Yeah, it is. I think yesterday was the 30th anniversary of the 32X. So
the greatest system ever released. Happy
anniversary for Sega. I don't know how many. Jess, I don't know if you've ever played one. Break. There's not that many games for it. If you had to pick one, what is your favorite 32X game?
I have a 32X.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't get one until later, and it was cheap. But oh my god, probably Knuckles Chaotix would be the one game. Because like the Star Wars game's really bad.
Yeah.
What would you
Star
pick?
Wars Man, so definitely not Star Wars Arcade. I would probably go with either Afterburner 2 because it's a really good port of Afterburner, and it's one of my favorite arcade games of all time. Or I would probably go with the port they did of Mortal Kombat 2. Like that Mortal Kombat 2 port is really good.
Yeah, it is good.
But I think that's probably about it. There's
a good NBA Jam port on there, and there's that game where you play as a hummingbird, Caribia or whatever.
Oh yeah,
someone's gonna tell me. Yeah, when I was in high school, some person on eBay sold their entire video game collection, and it was like everything that ever come out. And that was the first time I had seen that game, Hummingbird game. Was in that collection. And I was so excited about it. I told my principal, and he's like, wow, that guy has no life. And I was like, but that's so cool that. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'll always remember that. And Micron is doing something else.
So this is tangentially gaming related. It kind of explains a lot. If you've been trying to build your own PC here for the last few months, you've seen that RAM prices have like shot through the roof. And a lot of that is due to just the AI need for RAM and the data centers that are being built to support AI. There's just not enough to go around. And so, unfortunately, earlier today, Micron announced that they are shutting down Crucial.com, which is really sad because it is like Crucial.com for years. And in fact, in a professional capacity, Crucial.com has been like a godsend for me to just buy cheap RAM for existing systems that I just had laying around or where I needed to get new stuff.
Would you say it was Crucial?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they really nailed it on that one. But yeah, so they announced this morning that they're going to be shutting down Crucial.com so they can focus on the supply and demand for AI data center RAM, which is really disappointing because I get it from a business perspective, from a business perspective, like you're talking about, companies that want to place orders of magnitude higher orders than just Jimmy and Jane that are just going to buy 2 sticks of RAM for their new gaming PC that they're building. But it's for the consumer, it really sucks, and we're going to be feeling this one for a while. Now, on the flip side, once the AI bubble bursts, we should be able to get RAM dirt cheap once
that happens soon.
Once they pull all that stuff out of all those servers that won't.
Tell me I'm wrong on this, and I might be, because I haven't looked at the numbers on it. But it feels like from the students I have in class and just things that I've seen, it seems like more people are building PCs in the last few years. More people are building custom PCs, just because I hear people talking about it way more. I don't know if that's just the younger crowd that's doing it or what, but it's going to be an impact with this because obviously the RAM, but everything like the hard drives, everything sucks right now. And it's only going to make people like AI even more.
Yeah. Now, I think it is. There's the build your own PC is a lot more palatable today than it was, say, 10 or even 5 years ago, just due to the barrier to entry has gotten so low, and it's become a lot more frictionless. Like you can just slap all that stuff together, and it works for the most part. So,
I remember the old days when it didn't work. And then it was like a joy when you got it to work.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's still a little bit of that, but it's a lot more. I won't say it's idiot proof now because there's certainly things that can go wrong.
Well, there's an idiot that will prove you wrong.
Yeah, but it is, like I said, it's a lot more streamlined than it used to be. I don't have to worry about IRQ channels. I don't have to worry about honestly, as long as I get everything
conflicting with your graphics card.
Yeah, as long as I have enough PCI Express slots, and as long as I've got enough either SATA channels or M2 slots, then things pretty much work.
Yeah. If only the operating system wasn't terrible, though.
Hey, you can do it with a Linux box. You can build your own Linux box if you want to.
I mean, pretty much did. I built it for Windows, and then now it's pretty much my Linux thing. So cool. All right. So. Thank you very much for watching this evening. If you really like what you're seeing, you should like and subscribe to the game show. We'd really appreciate that. And if you'd like to chat with us further, you can go on our Discord. Go to BreakmanX.com and click Discord. And with that said, let's hop into some winter. My least favorite. Huh? What?
Winter games? Yeah.
Winter games. We're also kind of going to winter. It snowed on Monday.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it did. And
my mail didn't come because of the terrible snow.
My wife didn't make it out to your neck of the woods because of the snow, and it's like it's not dead week, but it's pretty much dead week for the law students there. So she was a little disappointed she had to stay home and study there instead of going to the library.
Yeah.
I love California.
Me too. I miss. There's some things that I miss about California, like definitely the weather. And when you come back, Jess, like you will not be used to the cold.
I'm so scared.
No,
I'm gonna get off the plane. It's gonna be like 80 here when I get on, and then it's gonna be like 30 when I get off. I'm not looking forward to it.
No, I remember because like I used to have I never used to get cold. I wouldn't need a coat. I moved to California and then I moved back and now I'm always cold. Like I feel like I've completely lost my cold tolerance. So hopefully.
Oh, and I didn't have a cold tolerance to start with. So I'm like double screwed.
Just crumble.
My wife wants to move to Minnesota and I'm just like,
no,
too cold.
No, at least Kansas has, some warmth sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, winter's probably my least favorite of the season. But it is pretty sometimes, and I have some really good gaming memories. So let's go ahead and get into those. So the first one, they're not really in any particular order, and I've kind of rearranged them a couple times. But the first one I want to talk about, when the PS2 launched, in late 2001, right?
Yeah.
Or was it? Yeah, it was late 2001.
That's 2001. Yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot to play on it, right? There was Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and there was a few other games. There's several games, but the one that I spent the most time with was Chrono Cross PS1. That's not what I'm talking about. The one I spent the second most time with was SSX, the first one. And I know that Tricky's better and all that, and that's all well and good, and I agree. But that first SSX, because I played Cool Borders like on PlayStation 1. And that was a lot of fun. Whip Systems for anyone that played it, and SSX was so much fun. Like in terms of an arcadey snowboarding game, it was just an absolute perfect thing to play. And I just remember being cold outside and turning on the PS2 and hearing that startup sound and the disc spinning up. And Mac was my player of choice, and just doing ridiculous tricks, like going up in the air and just like spinning a gazillion times, and landing on your head, and you're just fine. So just like in real life. But SSX is my first one. I should hit the chat here really quick because I've neglected to do it so far. But hello, 8-bit Moss Playa. See that your backlog is so big and you can't get anything digital unless it's deeply discounted. That's what ends up happening to me, and then my backlog gets farther. So he also said I had to get Gwanj and Guardian Heroes on Series X before Xbox delists them with zero notice. I should already. Those are the Xbox 360 ones, right? Gunstar Heroes is.
Yes. Yeah, Gunstar Heroes definitely is. Although he said Guardian Heroes, not Gunstar Heroes.
Oh, he did say Guardian Heroes. I read wrong, but Guardian Heroes is also 360. It's another Saturn. It's a Saturn. And Max is talking about AI. Amazon used to AI to dub anime. It was bad and not received well. Yeah, AI so far I don't think is quite delivering on what people think it is.
There's we can do a whole episode about it if we want to. I don't want to go into it here, but yeah.
It's too sad. All right, Jack, talk about some winter.
Yeah, so when we were talking about doing an episode about winter games, like the first thing that sprang to mind was the winter games from Epix back on like the Commodore 64 and the old Atari systems. I think they even had a version that came out on the NES. Like winter games, man, there's something about that silly game. So think of California games if you played that one, but just with more winter themed sports and like more, I won't say Olympic sports because they're not really winter like Olympic sports, but it's things like there's like a ice skating barrel jump. There is a hot dog ski jump. There is all kinds of just like not quite Olympics, but like something you would see on the wide world of sports, in terms of like events. And all of them are like the Commodore 64 one was pretty good. Probably the best version of it all, just because that's where it was like originally designed, I believe. But like some of the games, some of the events in the game just don't make a lot of sense unless you like have actually read the manual. Like there's slalom skiing, there's ski jumping, there's a biathlon, there's a bobsled, the luge. You know, it really depends, but like the barrel jumping one, I think I'm conflating the two. The barrel jumping was on World Games, not on Winter Games. So my apologies there. But like, it is a lot of like Olympic / wide world sports stuff, and it's interesting, but it's not quite what you wanted. It's not as good as California games, if that makes sense. They're still just, the games are just esoteric enough that they're kind of flimsy when you put them under a microscope. Like you could play them for like 5 minutes and they'd be great. But if you like wanted to dedicate yourself to becoming an expert at the luge, you're not really going to get too much out of that. But it always reminds me of winter just because it is like the Winter Olympics, which I think are next month anyway, aren't they?
Oh my God. Where are they this year?
In Italy? Italy.
That sounds right. I say with not knowing anything.
Let's see.
Cow.
Where's NBC going to put Snoop Dogg?
It's like Groundhog Day.
Let's find out. Yep. Yes, Milan. So yeah, Milan, Italy. So yay. That'll be fun. I want to watch. Yeah. I want to watch Snoop Dogg commentate some more sports he knows nothing about. It should be great.
He's made a whole career out of that. All right, Jess, you're up.
So the game that pops into my mind first and foremost whenever I think about winter is Skyrim. It is, for me, like the most atmospherically like wintry game overall. It's also probably in the top 3 games that I have dumped the most time into. I don't want to know how many hours of my life have been lived in Skyrim.
Enjoy.
But it's
say how many different versions of Skyrim have you played?
Yeah, too many. I've bought too many versions of that game. But I do love it, and it really is like if you take a moment to slow down and like look at the environment, I think there actually is a whole lot to offer there. It's one of the games that like I've done everything so many times that sometimes I just decide to like run around the map and see what random places that I can find that I've never been before, see what the largest mountain I can force jump my way up in ways that were never meant to be done. But it's so atmospheric, and I love the snowy environments, and it just feels like winter to me. It's the first thing that pops in my mind.
I mean, how much of that map is not covered in snow at any given time, right? Like,
not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good choice. So my next one is actually the game I always think of first when I think about winter games, and it's Metroid Prime Phendrana Drifts. Is that music? Like when I post an Instagram story of the snow, it's usually with Phendrana Drifts as the music for it. But I can just remember playing through Metroid Prime that first time, and you're going through all the different environments, and then you head in for Phendrana Drifts. I can't say it now. And all the snow is falling, and everything completely changes, and you just really feel cold. Like you feel cold when you go in there. So I'm hoping, and the music's really cool too. I'm hoping in Metroid Prime 4 that we get some cool music like that when we get the ice beam.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All right, Jack.
Yeah. So my next one is Super Mario Brothers 3 for the NES. I use this for a lot of games when I think about different seasons and stuff like that. But like, there's something about World 6, like you just like it's regular level. Like you get the desert, you get the water world, and then you hit World 6 and it's ice world. And guess what? You slide around everywhere because why not? Why wouldn't you do that in a platformer? But they do it pretty well. They do a lot of fun stuff. There's new enemies that kind of take advantage of the sliding mechanic. It introduces a little bit of a curveball on the way things work, and it just reminds me, it just feels cold due to the ice, the white blocks that you can pick up. It isn't a good little break from the standard Mario platforming at that point. And I feel like they do that world justice, and they do some pretty clever things with it when, a lot of lesser games wouldn't do nearly as much with an ice world. It would just kind of be there, and you'd slide and you'd throw your controller against the wall when you slide off of a platform.
I've always felt the music in that stage is really unusual and also very cold feeling.
Yeah, just that little like
bing, bing, I can't do it. It's like kind of a weird.
It's almost like like they wanted to kind of use like bells or something like that, but they just couldn't do it with the sound chip on the NES.
Koji did his best, or his best try. His best.
Yeah.
All right, Jess, you're up.
So I put for my next one Stardew Valley, but I think I can probably sub in the vast majority of like the Farming Sims, Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons type games, because obviously that's also one that you can go like every single season because you live through every single season. But winter is always one of my favorites in those because I much prefer to spend my time in the mines of these games as opposed to actually farming and doing crops. And so winter is the time in which you can't typically grow anything, and your animals typically don't require that much work unless you have a bunch, which I never tend to in those kind of games. And so I can kind of justify just like being in the mines every single day. And I don't know why it's my favorite thing. I think it's because I just like shiny rocks, and it tends to be the thing of like you get to sell the gems and like they're really expensive, so I get that like dopamine hit of like, oh, it's so expensive, and I get to find them, and it feels less boring than like growing the crops and doing all of that. But I was always a fan of the winter months for that reason of like I could justify not growing anything and just spending all day spelunking in the mines.
That's fair.
Cool. Awesome. All right, my next one. Mario 64, the snow level, is forever in my heart for snow. Again, Mario 64. I was actually initially disappointed by it. Don't murder me, people. Because I really like the sprite-based Mario games, and so at first I was kind of like, this is different. Where are my fire flowers, yo? But eventually, of course, really loved it. And the first level that I really loved, was the snow level, Cool Mountain, and like racing that damn penguin down the thing. That's so much fun. Bringing the whiny penguin to its mom. And that bolt, the big snowball falling down the cliff where you have to like go on that one. It's very memorable to me. But yeah,
the monsters that launch it off the side of the world, the small penguin.
Yes, and you can find the little shortcuts and warp and all that. But honestly, that might be my favorite world in Mario 64. I really like Cool Mountain, and I like sliding down, like not even just racing, but like on the sides of the mountain. Down.
The racing portion is always my favorite. Just you get the little athletic music, and it's like, all right, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That penguin is a jerk, though. Push you right off.
Yes.
Douchebag. Jack, you're up.
Yeah, so I limited this to one game, but I think it could be. I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but I think it goes for any Star Wars game, but the Hoth level on Star Wars Rogue Leader for the GameCube. Something about that level just cold. Like any Hoth, and it was the first Hoth level where I just felt like I really felt how cold it was, and I think it's probably because of I don't know if it's the perspective or just the detail that they got into on it, and how well they rendered it on the GameCube at the time. But like, it, between the AT-ATs, the snow speeder, and just everything else going on, it feels cold. And even with the sun shining when it does, it's still just you feel like it's like negative 20 degrees out there, and it makes me think of winter every single time I take down one of those AT-ATs with the tow cable.
Yeah, never done that in a game before.
Never. I wish somebody would make another game like that.
For a while there, it was like every Star Wars game you did that, but it was fun. I mean, they definitely could be worse sequences.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At least the fun one. So cool. All right, Jess. Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, my next one is Undertale and Deltarune as well.
Yeah.
Not only is it like snowy and you've got actually like the town of Snowdin and everything, but even in I think the areas that there isn't like actually snow on the ground, I think that game just feels so cold, just in general, in tone, in color, and it feels just very, I don't know, it's very isolating, but also such a like cozy, comforting game at the same time for me. Mm-hmm. And that combination just feels so like winter to me, on top of the obvious like snow atmosphere.
Yeah, there's a lot of sequences in that game where you're just kind of by yourself, and it's either no music or just like ambient music or ambient sounds, and it's very isolating. And so yeah, I totally get that.
Nice. All right. Well, now that my thunder's been stolen, Shadows of the Empire. No, just kidding. It's different. I'm not going to say the speeder thing. And I wasn't, well, maybe I was before. But Shadows of the Empire for the N64 apparently was reviewed poorly, but I was so excited to get a Star Wars game at that particular period in time. Because that was like, there was a real dearth in Star Wars stuff during that particular period of time. And so getting anything new before the special editions came out was pretty cool. And I loved the book, Shadows of the Empire. That was the first Star Wars novel I read outside the one of the original movie, A New Hope. And I really liked that. So playing the game was so much fun. And that the Hoth level, so obviously you do the speeder thing that Jack was talking about, because you do that in every game. But you also ran around the base, not in a vehicle, but on foot, in about 13 frames a second. And there were wampas coming at you and growling, and that was scary.
Bullet sponge wampas.
Yeah, you had to shoot those things like a million times unless you got a rocket launcher, and then you end up killing yourself anyway. And the cliffs in that game, I swear they like sucked you down. Like it was really easy to fall down those freaking cliffs in that game. The one thing I loved about that game was when you shot the stormtroopers. I believe it was the first or one of the first games that had the Wilhelm scream in it, where you could shoot the stormtroopers a little bit and they'd fall into the scream, and I used to spend time just doing that. But no, I have a lot of fond memories of that game. I still have all my saves. I loaded it up the other day, and it still has all my saves from that period of going through it with the different difficulty levels. Real quick though, that last level, the Skyhook, is really fun. If you haven't played that game, you should definitely somehow play that last level, because that level makes the whole game worth it, especially that terrible sewer level. I hated that sewer level so much.
My worst was always the train. That train just
the train sucks too. But you get to fight Boba Fett, don't you? Or was that right before that?
Yes, you do get you get to fight Boba Fett on the train.
And then IG-88.
Yep. But I will say, you're very right. Like at a time where like the only new Star Wars games we were getting were Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, and Super Return of the Jedi, just a few years before that. Getting anything that was after the original trilogy was like a godsend. And so seeing Shadows of the Empire come out was unbelievable and made me very much I don't know if it's the single thing that catapulted me towards getting excited for Phantom Menace, but it went a long way for sure.
Yeah.
Is that a
Oh my
Maul?
god! I did not know that you were arriving. It's a surprise mauling.
Hello. Yeah. Well, you mentioned Star Wars, so I had to show up.
Man, I should have thought of that sooner.
Sorry for lateness. I just flew in from Australia, so.
Good eye, Mike. Oh my god, I've got like 1,000 scenes. I gotta find the one that you're in with everybody. Oh, I found it. Oh my lord. You can keep talking though, while I.
Okay, well, today, an important thing you mentioned Phantom Menace with Shadows of the Empire. Shadows of the Empire is actually the the prototype for what media is today, for better or worse. Because Break, and you guys both mentioned that there wasn't a lot of Star Wars stuff prior. There's always been some, but we had it on kind of like a normal drip feed. Like it was an older property. They'll put out a video game here, a book or two there. Expanded universe books were pretty common, but they weren't like big releases, whatever. So Shadows of the Empire, they were like, let's see how much the market can bear. So they put out the book, the video game, an action figure line, a soundtrack score that went along with the book. Probably t-shirts, there's stuff. And so that was them dipping their toes in to see how much the market wanted more Star Wars stuff, and we all bought everything. And so they were like, all right, it's ready. So Phantom Menace, we're gonna do that again, times 10, and just put it on everything. And that has been the way every pop culture item has been since then. You don't get just a tie-in, you get everything, every possible media crossover thing that we can make. It's there,
So can I just say how perfect was the timing of talking about Star Wars, and then Maul flies in from Australia and appears? It couldn't have been
Outrider, no less. So
it could not have been so Matt, you're coming in on the what was Dash Rendar's ship called?
The Outrider.
The Outrider.
Yeah,
that's what you just said, and I didn't connect it. Yeah, yep. I like the Outrider. That was fun. Did you have a winter game? Or a game that reminds you of winter?
My games aren't really wintry games so much. Now they're games I just played in the winter.
That's okay. We've been doing those too.
Which and that Star Wars actually wasn't good because I went tromped through the snow across a few yards to my neighbor's place to go play Shadows of the Empire. Pretending I was on Hoth, crawling through there. Yeah. So mine are more I don't know, Mega Man 3 is one. Nothing too wintry in that, other than maybe Gemini Man's level. Yeah. But that was a huge Christmas gift for me that year when that came out. I believe it might have been the same year as the Turtles arcade game on the NES as well.
I think so, right around there.
Yeah,
which I love.
Right. That was a banner year for NES games.
That was.
So. I'll rack my brain more for other wintry games, but those are two that it's I just remember so much, just opening those up, and that was it. That was the rest of my Christmas vacation after that. I got a lot of other toys and stuff, I'm sure, but those two games were just back and forth. That was it.
Yeah. That's great. Took me forever to get Mega Man 3. I just rented it a bunch. Yeah.
That was one that what I realized, this will tie into a later Christmas story. I think that we're going to do some stuff for that later this season. But where I first discovered that my grandma who bought me the game, had some sort of innate fear of me beating the games too fast. And I'm not sure why, because I was pretty good at games, but I don't know if I was just cranking out cartridges left and right or anything like that. But I remember I was so happy when I beat Top Man, a day or two, into owning Mega Man, and came out and told her I beat it. She's like, "Oh my God, you beat the game already!" I'm like, no, it's
just one
guy. There's still 7 more, And then, as we later found, the entire cast of Mega Man 2 as well, popping back up on us. But yeah, it was she had a small heart attack.
That was the parental thing back then. Was like, you already beat the damn game.
Oh yeah, I mean, talk about like what something like Strider Returns or Strider Returns for the Genesis. Like you could beat that game in like 30 minutes.
That's a terrible game.
And it was like a $70 game at the time.
It was the US Gold one, wasn't it?
Yes, that was.
Yeah,
the
gross,
god awful one.
They made a lot
there
of
are definitely
like
a few.
They made US Gold made a lot of games that were like not F tier but D tier, like just above being like completely worthless.
Yeah.
I have a game on my list by them.
Do you now?
I do.
Well, let's hear about it.
US Gold. It's not yet. Dramatic pause. All right, Jess.
My next one is going to be Dragon Age Inquisition. There are a bunch of areas in specifically like Ferelden and Orlais that are colder, icier, but the one that always sticks out in my head and like the thing that I always think about first when I think about Inquisition is Haven.
Oh.
And just how much I loved that initial like camp setup, and it's where you get to know the vast majority of your companions that you're going to be with. And I just remember how like stressed I was the first time I played through like the Battle of Haven. And so that's one that always like sticks out in my head of like when I think of like snowy like levels or like atmospheres in games, is like Haven pops into my mind.
Huh. Yeah, I always think of when I think of that game, I think of the hinterlands. Still wintry, but like you spend so much time in the hinterlands. Like the
hinterlands are like the number one reason why Inquisition is actually my least favorite Dragon Age game. Yeah. Because I just could never get out of them. And part of that's a me thing, but part of it is the way that it was designed. And it didn't need to be like that.
Yeah. Agreed.
True. Well, I'm going to hit the chat really quick. Maximus Prime says Star Wars Shadow of the Empire level 1 Hoth is always fun. Also that the music that obviously it's the Empire Strikes Back music, but the particular cut that they put on repeat I thought was good for that. The best 13 FPS of my life. Yeah. You know what's funny is like I'm really sensitive to low frame rates. Like I get nauseous. Like I will puke everywhere. And during that particular generation, especially for the N64, I could not figure out why that was what was causing me to get sick. Like I would feel terrible, and I just like could not. And it honestly took until the GameCube, where there was a TV that had delay on it, which also causes me to get nauseous. That I figured out that the 3D games could do things to me that made me sick. So, Maximus Prime also says Boba was in like a closed area that you could fly around in. Yep, I remember seeing Slave 1. Oh, and hey, Johnny Graphics. How's it going? Yes, the surprise mauling. I recorded an episode about Rondo of Blood for Johnny Graphics House of Who Cards podcast, which will be really fun with Sarumaru and the Mad Belmont. So that was a lot of fun for y'all to check out pretty soon. And actually, that is, I'm going to go ahead and skip my 5th one and go to my 6th one for now, because that brings up a relevant point for me, because we talked about Rondo of Blood the whole time, which we also ended up talking about Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and comparing the two and talking about them. So that's on my mind. But that game, I remember beating it over Christmas break, and it was snowy as shit outside. It was. My car like almost went off the road like that particular week. And I remember I was supposed to be practicing my drum solo for like contest. And instead I was Alucard playing Symphony of the Night. And going through that game, and I was like, I'd gotten it like a little bit before, but I'd really like gotten to the point where I was like, when you get into a game, you're like hooked, and like whenever you have free time, especially when you're a kid, right?
Yeah.
I guess I was an older kid then, but you just dive into it any chance you have, and that's where I was at with Symphony of the Night. And I can remember how cold it was outside, my car going off the road. I can remember slipping all over every place, and then like getting really nervous I wasn't gonna get my drum solo ready on time. for contest. And that just whole period, like whenever my car slips on the road, I think a miserable pile of secrets. So, all right, Jack, what's your next one?
Yeah, so just real quick before I mention my next one, so there is if you're thinking about the 13 FPS of Shadows of the Empire fondly, remember you can't pick it up on Steam and GOG. And actually get a version that runs way better on your PC.
I have that one, but there's something charming about it running terribly.
Oh, for sure. It just made me think about this. Like, you know what? I probably need to go buy that on Steam because I think it's only like $5 or something like that, even when it's not on sale. So
every once in a while it'll go out. Like I got it. There was a Star Wars sale where it was like all those old games for a really low price, and I got all of them for that. The Shadows of the Empire version, there was something about it that I didn't like on Steam, and I don't remember what it was because it's been a long time, and it maybe not even be relevant now because they've updated it since.
Yeah, I think it launched and it had some weird thing with NVIDIA drivers or something like that. I can't remember exactly what, but yeah, I kind of vaguely remember that too.
I really wish that low frame rates didn't bother me though, because some of those games I'd like to go back and visit. There was some dude on a forum said that sunglasses can help. It didn't help.
Huh. Interesting. Oh well. Anyway, so my next game is Death Stranding, the original Death Stranding. I have not played 2 yet, but the first one. So I don't know if anybody else has played all the way through Death Stranding, but the back third of the game is essentially you traveling across all the mountainous region, and like as soon as you get to it, it's just snowing, and it's snowing everywhere. You have to trudge through snow. You can hoverboard through snow, which is kind of cool, but they have like little not snowmobiles, but like you can get the trikes that kind of work, but it just feels cold. It's snowy. You have to go through blizzards. In fact, there's one place where like a literal vortex comes and sucks you and an entire cabin away into like to the Death Stranding to the other side, and it's incredibly crazy. But you get into that zone and it's constantly snowing. There's no way to stop it, and the snow deteriorates all of your packages when you're carrying them because of course it's also timefall. I could go on and on, but it's an interesting concept where usually like snow is kind of calming, and like there's something about the snow and the way that the mechanic works with timefall that it just makes you fill with dread when you see it and you have to trudge through it, and you have to go like almost like a 70-degree incline just to get up to the next place where you have to deliver a package, and you cannot see. They do a really good job with visibility. You cannot see like 30 feet in front of Sam's face. It's a really great.
It's like an N64 game.
Yeah. If you want to think back to like the Turok 2 days, or even Shadows of the Empire.
That fog. Mm-hmm. When I remember when I played Turok 2, I rented it and I thought my game was broken. Because it was so foggy and you couldn't see anything. And
that's easy to see after there's like it and Mario 64 were like the games you had to play at the time. Yeah. And Mario was crisp and beautiful and you could see the horizon, and then like no other game after that for years.
Mm-hmm. I watched this video by Modern Vintage Gamer. He has some awesome videos about some of this stuff. And he was talking about the N64, how Nintendo would develop this microcode as it went along to and it would work so much better, but they wouldn't always share it with third parties. Mm-hmm. And so like Nintendo had much better tools for the N64 until like the last couple of years of it. Basically, they started sharing more of it. And you also couldn't develop your own for it. Huh. So it was like a weird thing. And for Mario 64, they didn't use a lot of texture stuff. They used the shading to make it run fast. It was fascinating. Like Modern Vintage Gamer, I could listen to him talk about old games for like ever in his fancy British accent. It's a lot of fun. Maul, did you have another winter game?
Yeah, well, again, same thing. Not really wintry. But like just it conjures the winter experience for me. or Christmas time in particular. I never owned this game because it's not good, but I did play it a lot at the time in this particular spot. And again, this will be what conjures the Christmas time kind of vibe. Any of us old men and old gamers, I should say, will recall Toys R Us and the excitement of Christmas time.
Yes.
Going to Toys R Us and just gearing up what is going to be on this Christmas list of mine, and in particular, their Hall of Games. When you'd go around that corner that they had the weird, you got to enter in here and go past the beach stuff that's out every day of the year for some reason. Get around past the little D&D shelf and down that front row of games. Yeah. And I remember it was like on the left hand or right hand side, it was Master System, NES, and then you go past the gap, Genesis back there gets its own thing. But yeah, just both sides, just full on those little plastic flaps that you'd flip up and look at the back of the game, and see what you got coming at you. Take the tag up to the cage in the front. And I think that's always just the most beautiful video game aesthetic, for a store ever, is just flipping up all those little tabs and seeing what the game is. But in particular, of course, at Christmas time, they had all their demos set up. So they have the system out with one game. That's the one you got to play. You can try out whatever, probably the sponsor sent for them. I'm sure they were commanded to by whoever, the powers that be. But I remember one Christmas, I was pretty excited for Batman Forever.
Which version?
To come out. Super Nintendo.
Okay.
In particular. I didn't know I ever owned a Sega system until Dreamcast. So I was pumped that it was out on demo one day. Yeah, and that's what we learned. Yep, we learned. So thank you, Nintendo, for warning me and saving me $50 or terrible Christmas Day disappointment. I tried on several trips to Toys R Us to master that game. I mean, it advertised it had you could do 100 different moves. Batman could do anything. He could flip around, go up and down levels, use all of his gadgets and everything. And it was supposed to look like Mortal Kombat, where it had real 3D digital images of actors or whatever put into the game.
Yeah, they digitized all the actors and gave it the Mortal Kombat treatment.
Yeah. Shows how good Mortal Kombat did that with how terrible a lot of the other games that tried to do it.
Yeah, I mean, as you probably learned, there's a difference between having, 8 characters digitized in your game and trying to make a cast of 30 and scrolling backgrounds, and it was far too ambitious, probably in both fronts, because the move list was never really, the 100 moves just didn't work. There were 2 different button presses. You were just always flying around on your grapple hook with no direction and missing everybody. And God, the game was just awful. But
forever awful.
I always remember trying it over and over again, though, to see if I could squeeze some amount of joy out of that game and failing terribly.
Water from a stone. Crystal Madison writes in, Jess, are you using Sony headphones?
I am.
Well, there you go, Crystal Madison 8449. I thought you were, but I wanted to double check.
Yep.
All right, Jess, you're up next.
One of my favorite things as a kid playing games was whenever I could feel like I was getting away with something. And so one of my favorite memories in the Animal Crossing, the original GameCube Animal Crossing, was actually with Jingle, who was a reindeer that would show up on Christmas to give out presents. And if you talked to him and you got your first presents, and then if you ran away and you changed clothes, and then you came and talked to him again, you could trick him into giving you more presents. And I want to say that you could do it 10 times before finally he caught on to the fact that you had done it and cut you off. Which I think was the way to make sure, because you could there's a special Christmas themed furniture set that you could get, and you could only get it from him. And I want to say that like the amount of times you could trick him was about the amount of furniture items in the set. But I just loved the fact that you could just like run away, put on a hat, and come back, and he'd give you more gifts. As like a kid, I was like, I'm the smartest person that's ever existed, and I love this.
That's awesome.
That's
yeah,
cool.
there's so many little like Easter egg things like that in the Animal Crossing games. It's so great.
Especially the original ones, like the first couple.
Yeah.
They kind of stopped doing that. Like I don't think that's a mechanic. I know it was a mechanic in a couple of the games that followed the GameCube one, but like I know you can't do it. I don't think in the most recent one. It's like an entirely different setup with Jingle and the new ones. And I don't know, I just kind of miss the charm of being able to run around and be a little bit of a menace. It was fun.
I think you're right, though. I think those games did have a charm to them that maybe isn't in the most recent ones. Although still good.
Still good, but I think they've leaned a little bit more into the like cute, adorable kind of aesthetic of it, and I think the original ones were just a little bit more unhinged.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've lost a little bit of the edge that they used to have.
Tom Nook's clamping down, man.
Yeah, BreakmanX was trying to play the most recent one, and it just made her want to play the GameCube one.
Yeah,
she hadn't played
I feel the same way.
So
Hey, maybe we'll get that as one of the virtual console games here pretty soon.
maybe.
Tom Nook.
Well,
Son of a
Crystal Mass in April 49 says, thank you. Those headphones are very good.
Yes,
So there
I
you
love
go.
them.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, the Sony ones are great.
They were worth the investment.
Good. I'm glad because I know that I kind of influenced that decision, so I'm glad that it turned out good.
Yes.
No, those are awesome. So I'm gonna go back to my previous one that I skipped before and talk about Mega Man 8, which I was super stoked during that period to get any new 2D games, and I know 8 isn't looked on with the most reverence, but I will always love Mega Man 8. And the level is Frostman. And it's very chilly, and some scary words that will live in my brain forever. Jump, jump, slide, slide. If you played the game, you know what I'm talking about, and you're instantly a little more irritated than you were a minute ago. Because that sequence and then the later one is not fun. I love that game, but that jump, jump, slide, slide was just... And the one in Frostman is a little bit better than the one in the Wily Castle. But beyond the jump, jump, slide, slide, the rest of the level has a really nice icy ambiance to it. A lot of nice graphics. Looks really good. And then the boss. Frostman's pretty fun to fight. So, if they could just take out the jump, jump, slide, slide. So so anyone who's watching, listening that didn't play that game, there's a segment where you're on a snowboard going pretty fast, and it'll be like jump, jump, which means you have to jump over a pit soon, and then slide, slide, meaning you have to do the slide maneuver to go under something, which sounds easy enough, but it gets faster, and the timing is a little bit bizarre because it says it quite a bit before you have to do it for most of it, and then later it does it like right when you have to do it, so the timing gets really weird. And it's
like
frustrating.
an especially bad version of Battletoads.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Jack, what's your next one?
Yeah, so my next one, Maximus on the chat actually mentioned this one earlier, but Max Payne. The original Max Payne all takes place like in a snowy version of New York City. Like anytime you step out onto the streets and go from one place to the other, it is snowing. And in one point, I think the climax of the game, it's an all-out blizzard. And so anytime I think of that game, I just think of just snowy, like New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve, something like that, and just think about, just a gritty, cold New York City, and Sam Lake's silly smirk that entire game.
Yeah, that was a fun game, Max Payne. I played that when I had mono.
Oh man,
it was a good game.
What a grim ass game though, too. At the same time, like
it is pretty grim.
Just cultists killing babies, just screaming, the nightmare sequences. It was
But
a lot
bullet
going
time.
on, man. Bullet
Yeah.
time. Was that the originator of bullet time? Was that the
in video games?
I know that's where
yeah.
we got the. I know it's where we got the name was from that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, what an impactful game that was. That's crazy.
Yep.
It was
Then we got
Max
The great
Payne.
movie.
Oh yeah, no, fantastic movie.
It was all right. It was all right.
Up there with Doom.
Yes,
I think
yes,
it's
it
quite
is.
better than Doom, honestly.
Doom, I think, is the worst of the ones that are coming to mind right now. Anyway,
But video game adaptations?
Yeah.
I mean, no, Mario Brothers,
oh yeah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
or House of
Mario
the Dead,
Brothers
or
is,
any
I never
evil-
saw House of the Dead.
Yeah, I say that's the Mario Brothers is not a good adaptation of Super Mario, but it isn't necessarily a completely awful movie. Like it's batshit crazy, but it's it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's
yeah.
pretty awful. But
Uwe Boll is anything he's touched is.
you know what? That dude could raise some money. Like he could make some awful movies, but he got to keep making them.
Yeah,
It's true.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. He knew how to work the German film system.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Maul, did you have another?
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, I did think of one that I like a lot that is set at Christmas. Kind of in the same vibe. I
Apropos.
think following on Max Payne, where it's a very depressing version of Christmas. Is Parasite Eve.
Oh,
yeah.
good. Yes,
Yeah.
I like it.
Right? Yeah, it's
Good
set
pick.
on Christmas Eve, and you play like the week after, or like through and after Christmas, and it's got little bits in the city. I also remember all the mutated rats and giant creatures and everything, but we tend to forget that there are quiet moments where you end up at like Rockefeller Center and in front of the tree, and all the New York City landmarks are spread throughout the game. And one thing that does fit with the winter vibe, even though monster hunting isn't really we normally think of it, but it does get a really good winter desolation.
Yeah.
Because you play through the game, and since your character is the only one that is immune to the mitochondria mutation, whatever, you're alone most of the game, just walking around through quiet, snowy streets, cold winds whipping by, and just a real quiet nighttime crunch of snow under your boots. It's just got a really creepy, chilly, kind of cold vibe to the whole thing.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that game. Did you play it? Did you play it around when it came out, or did you play it later?
No, I played it pretty early on, honestly. Because I definitely played it before Part 2 came out.
So the opening cinema and the graphics in it were actually pretty impressive, I thought, when I first played it back then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Square, so we kind of expected it at the time, right? That the cutscenes were going to be
Delicious.
a big selling point for the game. Yeah.
Yep.
And one thing that's crazy though, it's so weird that Part 1 was this cool, it's like a gun-based RPG, but it still definitely used the active time combat system from the Final Fantasies and everything. And then they switched it over to Resident Evil clone by the time Part 2 came out. So weird.
I never beat Part 2 because of that. I think those games could be a fun remake.
Yeah, they handled them the right way. Yeah.
And I think, I mean, the content, I don't know. I love the ambiance of that game. It felt creepy as shit. Did you think?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was very good. Very creepy. I mean, any game where you're fighting giant fetuses and stuff at some point, that they're going to be kind of scary. Not kind of Silent Hill in that regard. Yeah, no, it was good. I lament the second one felt a little more gratuitous than the first one, being more story based and more terrifying. The second one tried to go for a horror vibe. I remember its big selling point for a lot of people was that there was a really detailed full motion shower sequence in the middle of the game, And then there is a third one. in the
I didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't make it that far. I don't know.
No.
But so there is a third one, kind of the third birthday I've never played, but I know it's like the
What? There's
same
a third one?
world. Yeah, it's not a direct sequel, but it's like a related title, I think.
Oh, like a spiritual sequel or something?
Yeah. Let me see.
That's interesting.
Third.
Wait, there was a movie?
Yeah, actually, there's a movie too, because it's based on a novel from Japan. So, yes,
whole thing.
yeah. Third birthday. It is part of the Parasite Eve series, for sure.
Did it come out here?
And 2011.
PSP.
Looks
Wow.
like. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it good?
I remember that now.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never really heard a lot of good stuff about it, and it kind of into the series, but I do see some good reviews out there online. I can't say that I saw it myself though. Like, some people say it killed the series, and some people say it was good. So I don't know.
71 on Metacritic. That's not bad.
I vaguely remember it, but I don't think if you put a screenshot of it in front of me, I probably couldn't.
It looks very
Pick it out of a crowd.
PSP.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I completely forgot that existed. That's fun.
And it is also, looks like, set at Christmas time, if I'm seeing this right. So
Huh.
How appropriate.
There you go.
yeah,
Nice.
that it is. So add it to the list. Throw it on there.
Yes, I think you might like Parasite Eve.
That sounds interesting.
The first one. I know nothing
Yeah, the
about
first
2 and
one.
3. Other than that, apparently they're not great.
Well,
But-
it's not quite the same,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Speaking of Jesto, I believe it is your turn.
So transitioning into a more frustrating, icy themed moment for me. In Pokemon Crystal, there is an ice gym badge that you need to get, a gym leader. And in order to get to the gym leader, you had to solve a ice puzzle. And that you had to walk forward and you would slide on the ice and you would hit a not icy spot, and then you would have to navigate your way through and to where you needed to be.
Mhm.
And would I find it difficult if I were to try to do it again nowadays? Probably not. Did I find it extremely infuriating when I played it for the first time at 5 years old? Yes, I did. And it was made worse by the fact that I was a very impatient child, and so I wasn't doing it intelligently, right? I wasn't planning it out. I wasn't keeping track of what I would do. And so I remember I made it through the first time after probably a solid 30 minutes of trying to get through this puzzle. And I made it to the gym leader, and I was so excited. I'm like, this is perfect, and I'm done, and I never have to do this again.
Mhm.
And then I lost to the gym leader,
Oh no.
which sends you to the Poke Center, and then you've got to do it again.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I wasted half an hour of my life trying to figure out how to solve this puzzle, and I didn't keep track of what I did. And so I had no idea how to do it the second time. And so I remember I actually had to put the Game Boy down and walk away. And I think I came back a couple days later and did it again. And I think it probably took me about half an hour again, because I did not pay attention to how I did it the first time.
Mhm.
But I just remember how frustrating that was. And I sat down the second time with a paper and pencil, keeping track of what worked and what didn't. Because it was if I do not beat this guy and I have to do this again, I'm never coming back to this game ever. And I just remember that being just so infuriating. And Pokemon Crystal is one of my fondest video game memories.
Yeah.
But ooh, that gym pissed me off to no end.
Anger. Nice.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you at all.
I know nothing. I've never played that, but I feel your pain. And I love the crystal connection. So again, we would really appreciate a like and subscribe if you're still watching at this point. And my next game is one of my absolute favorite, most fun ice levels to play, and that is the fourth world in Super Mario Bros. 2. The ice, you start out, you fly across the world on Birdo's egg. That's a lot of fun. But in particular, there's a sequence where you're kind of running and jumping over all the things, and then like you duck, and there's kind of a rhythm that you get into in going through that stage. And once I kind of figured that out as a kid and could fly through that, it was a lot of fun. And I think that's one of the first ones with the rocket ship, if I remember correctly.
Yes, yeah, it's with the first world with the rocket ship. Also
cool.
I remember it mostly for like jumping on the backs of the whales and like being able to go up on their spouts when they shoot the water out.
It's probably my favorite world of that game. That's what I remember like the most. It makes me want to go play it again right now. So. All right, Jack, you're up.
It's a great one. Yeah, so my next one, Dead Space 3. I don't know how many people played all the way through Dead Space 3, but I think the first half is pretty familiar for a lot of Dead Space fans. The space horror, alien vibes. And then all of a sudden, like halfway through the game, you land on this planet, which is just an ice planet. And so you have to go from like shelter to shelter quickly because you're obviously on an ice planet and you just have your rig that you've got on. And it's another one of those things where just they do a very good job making you feel isolated, making you feel alone, and you're not quite sure which of the necromorphs are frozen solid and won't come back to life, and which ones are just dead from the ice world. So it's a really cool change of pace on the series. Again, the co-op multiplayer kind of eliminates a little bit of the isolation, but it is a really cool vibe, and it's a significant 180 from a lot of the things they done earlier in the series.
Nice.
Can't say I played that far into the series, but yeah.
3 is definitely the weakest of the 3 games.
I didn't play 3. Is it worth it?
I mean, if you like the Dead Space like story, it's worth playing through just to see kind of where they end Isaac's story. But I would say you probably would be better served just watching a YouTube synopsis. Unless, I will say, if you play through it co-op's great. You should check that out. But if you just are planning on playing it through by yourself, just watch a synopsis.
Cool. Yeah, Mecha was really big on that series. I think he played through 3.
They made the third one more actiony than survival horror-y.
Oh, yeah, did that come around like Resident Evil 5 and 6?
Yeah, pretty much. It was right around 6. Yeah.
It was that period of time. So, Maul, any more cold things from you?
Yeah, again, another one that is Christmas, but also does have the same kind of like snow vibe in some of the later levels, and I think we kind of run across in the patterns in our games, right? Like a lot of these like get later into the game, you're gonna hit an ice level, and it's usually gonna be kind of a pain in the ass. But Donkey Kong Country, the first one specifically on the Super Nintendo, another one of those that had been set up in the front of Toys R Us. This time, a marketing success though, because I played it and it was actually really good, and I had to have it. So it was a Christmas Day game, and does have its fair share of snow and ice levels. Gorilla Glacier, I think, is the fourth world, and Donkey Kong. That game stands out also as having just one of the best like soundtracks. Like the aquatic levels in particular like live in my head forever, but the ice levels are no slouch in this regard either, where they're like very like quiet and subdued and relaxing.
Yeah,
and that game just has such a chill feeling about it that you could put on. It totally matches like a cool wintry day, just sitting inside looking at the snow, playing Donkey Kong, collecting bananas. It was a good time.
Yeah,
that game was just a classic all around.
It's better than a lot of people give it credit for. I know a lot of people don't like the rotoscoping stuff they did, but like, I think it's
really people have trouble with that. That was a huge selling point for it at the time.
For me as a kid,
liked.
I know I thought it was great, but I know like in hindsight, a lot of folks were just like, Nintendo was trying to, fake this stuff just to keep up with the times.
I don't know. It worked for a lot of us. Like it was, and it kind of defined what Donkey Kong, like is and looks like now. I mean,
defined it for nearly 30 years.
Right? They did that. They did that better than like other folks did too. Like some of those pre-rendered CG 3D things look really bad from that.
Oh
era.
yeah, for sure.
Right. Well, I mean that was rare though. I mean, Rare Studios was like head of the pack for a long time, like through like Super Nintendo and through 64.
They used to be good.
They were excellent, and like you'd always expect they'd have something like graphically kind of revolutionary, for a long time coming out. You needed to have an expansion pack to play their N64 games. They were so good.
Yep.
I always had a lot of hope that the next Perfect Dark game was going to be good. I was bummed when that was canceled.
Yeah, same.
Well, maybe it saved us the heartbreak of the previous installments.
Yeah, that
in the series,
Perfect Dark
though. Zero
was not a good experience.
No, there was a lot of interesting conversation around how that came together. It's interesting, just in hindsight.
Was there a Perfect Dark Game Boy Advance game that I'm thinking was awful?
There was a Game Boy Color
played
one.
That? Oh, maybe it was that. I feel like I played a portable version of Perfect Dark where you were like, went through like a training mission in the opening sequence, and you had to like kill and not kill the right people, and it was just like a repetitive, just endless nightmare, like a stealth mission kind of thing. And everything you messed up once, you were like, whoop, gotta go back to the start. Sorry, you went through like 8 of these sections already. Oh God, I'm gonna look and see that's what that was. It's bringing like some traumatic memories of working in the game store. And yeah.
Speaking of
you
trauma,
pull the wrong game out of the case. And
speaking of trauma, 8-Bit Moss Player says, I'm learning that Jess has had some pretty traumatic Pokemon experiences. Last time the Pokemon movie trauma, and now the ice level.
Yeah, just 1 or 2. It's fine.
8-Bit Moss Play also says, first NHL game, March of 93. Snowed in at babysitter's while mom was in the hospital. Babysitter son had the game. I'm guessing they're talking about Donkey Kong. And I had access to it for days. My first time playing for Genesis. So I thought he means
like NHL 93 or NHL.
Oh,
92.
I was, for some reason, I was thinking they were watching NHL on TV, and then for some reason they're playing Donkey Kong. But it makes much more sense for them to be playing NHL. Those were some fun games at the time.
I like NHL, like the original up through like 95 or like prime era NHL series.
I like those better than any NHL game that came after it. I know there were much more realistic 2K ones that were probably much better technically, but for me, none were as fun as 93 and 94 for me.
I still have fond memories of the NHL Open Ice series in the arcade, like the one where they tried to make like NBA Jam.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was good. As a hockey fan at the time, it was fun.
Well, that was the other thing. That came out like in my prime hockey love. Like when I was playing hockey, that was when those games came out. So it also worked out nicely for that.
Yeah.
So, all right, Jess. Well, you're gonna take us out this evening. What is your final pick?
I think I am going to wrap up with a more recent game that I've been playing a lot of, which is 2 Point Museum. Which is a management sim type situation where you are the curator of a museum and you've got to go out and find artifacts and organize your museum. And you get to do different like locations, and kind of the running story in the background is you're trying to figure out what happened to the former curator. It's a really funny game. I have had a lot of fun with it. But there is one site that's called the Pointy Mountains, which is like a snowy mountain top, like almost like research like center. And it's one of the few museums that you start off with like no starting funds because you're there unofficially trying to find what happened to the last curator. And so you start going out looking for artifacts, and you've got Yetis are like your number one people that are frequenting your museum until you get it like off the ground because they're the only ones that live there. And it's just a lot of fun, and it's kind of a chill thing that I've been able to like hop in and out of a little bit easier with the chaos going on. But it's kind of more lighthearted, still has that like wintry vibe, but no infuriating aspect so much of the gameplay.
That's awesome. I haven't played any of those 2-point games. I hear they're really good.
Museum is the only one I've had thus far, but I have had a great time with it, and like the other ones are on my list of like, once I feel like I'm sufficiently through Museum because there's so much to do, then I'll get the next one. I've heard that Hospital is better than the college one. So that would probably be the one I got next.
Yeah, Hospital, as from what I hear, is very highly touted.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been a lot of fun and made me feel very cold. Jack, what would you like to say before we head off?
Oh boy. So sticking with my normal sports theme, the NCAA volleyball tournament starts tomorrow. So I'm very excited to watch and see who's on the road to Kansas City to play in the Final Four here. Should be a very fun tournament. I'm going to watch way more volleyball than I should over the next 3 days. So I'm very, very excited. They're all televised now, which 2 years ago they weren't. So as a volleyball fan, I am extremely stoked.
Our team's been awesome this year.
Yeah, KU's got a great team. I think they got a 4 seed, so like they get home games this week.
I wasn't even talking about KU though. I was talking about the team at my university I teach at is doing really, really well. I went to a few games. They were number 2 for a while.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think they might
Very
still
cool.
be. But and Maul, what would you like to say before we head out?
Well, first off, it was Perfect Dark Game Boy Color that I was thinking of. That was just etched in my brain. The game's flipping awful. What a terrible legacy that Perfect Dark had after such a great first installment as a series.
You're saying Rare put their B team on the Game Boy Color game?
Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Otherwise, just I don't know if you guys have started watching the new season of Stranger Things. That's been like very heavily on my mind this week, and I'm very happy I managed to get theatrical tickets for the last episode.
Nice.
Screening on IMAX. Ooh. Yeah, everyone was very mad. It's only on 2 screens here in town, at least on the first day. I don't think they realized how popular it was going to be. And also Avatar is that same weekend. So that's eating up like a ton of the screen space in town. Yeah. But they sold out instantly. And everyone was very mad because Regal and Cinemark, who are both hosting it, put the wrong time on their Instagram for what time the tickets were on sale. So a few of us who knew they were going on sale 5 hours earlier managed to sneak in there and secure our spots. But I am ready to go in and see Vecna finally bite it, and I will probably I don't know. I don't often weep at a movie, but it might be time. I don't know, but I do know for sure if Steve dies, we riot.
I hope for your sake that he doesn't. And Jess, what would you like to say before we head off?
I'm just getting real excited. I'm at the end of the semester, and so I've got a whole list of all of the games, all of the TV shows, all of the movies that I'm hoping to get through in the next month when I actually have free time for once. So looking forward to that. And I might not be here next week because I will be traveling back to Kansas next Wednesday.
That's okay.
And so I don't think I'll be in the air. It's an earlier flight, but we'll see if I'm feeling up to podcasting after dealing with LAX.
Yeah, maybe not
That's
after
fair.
that. That's it. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's worse than Perfect Dark on the Game Boy Color.
Close though.
Close. It's close. Photo finish. Well, thank you for watching the game show, and we will see you same time next week, maybe without Jess.